Good morning, beautiful people. Cold Front Mafia. Happy Tuesday morning. 2 days from the NFL draft. 2 days. Super excited. Yesterday, the Buffalo Bills front office, Brandon Beane, Joe Brady, Josh Allen. Not all the front office, but Brandon Beane, Josh Allen, and Joe Brady sat down for a press conference with the media and answered all sorts of questions. And we're going to go over that today. We're going to let you know what we heard, what they said, what they're telling us, and why I think Brandon Beane spilled the beans, no pun intended, as to what direction it seems that the Buffalo Bills will be going in the draft come Thursday night. I'm sure a lot of things are up in the air and a lot of things will have to happen in order for my prediction to happen. That said, Brandon Beane made some comments that really tell me that the Buffalo Bills will be trading back and not necessarily taking anyone, for that matter, at pick number 26. What's up, Shannon? How are you? So that said, let's get right into it. First, Josh Allen took the podium and answered some questions to the media, wearing nothing but Buffalo Sabres gear in high energy fashion for the Buffalo Sabres playoff run. Game 2 is this evening, first of all, in case you didn't know, but I'm sure you did. It looks as if Josh Allen, who was actually asked if he will be there this evening, in Josh Allen fashion, kind of side-eyed his question, saying, "Oh, you mean tomorrow night, game 2? Yeah, I hope to be there. I'm planning on it." Seems to me like Josh Allen has got something up his sleeve, and most likely, in my opinion, he will be banging on that drum before the game starts, pregame for the Buffalo Sabres this evening. He was then asked about his foot and how that was healing up and how that procedure went and if he is healthy, feeling good. What he told us was that this injury was actually from 5 to 10 years ago. No, 10 to 15 years ago, potentially. And there was a little bone spur, a little bone chip somewhere in his foot from something that happened literally a decade or more ago. And then what happened with this little chip of a bone that came off of his foot? It was floating around the inside of his foot somewhere. And over time, it had calloused over. So this little piece of bone had been calloused over, so it was not moving around, therefore not causing him discomfort unless he stepped or put weight on his foot in a very, very particular manner, an angle to where he then ran into some discomfort. But it was really nothing to worry about whatsoever. And then he said the re-aggravation was when Myles Garrett was chasing him down during the Cleveland Browns game, and he released that bone chip out of this callus, and it became an issue again. So he his words here, let me see here, let me get to this. Seamless transit. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Foot injury, Myles Garrett game. Yeah, previous deal that I never knew I had until it jolted loose. Little piece of bone broke off and was floating in there. Went in there and took it out, cut it out, leave it on the table. Sewed it back up. No limitations at this time. And he said it was a really quick procedure, and he kind of poo-pooed it. Josh Allen does this. He also mentioned when he was talking about this that multiple times throughout the year when he gets a little banged up, he actually refuses x-rays and some medical attention, telling the medical staff, quite frankly, I don't care what this x-ray might say anyways. I'm playing Sunday, so no need to even take that x-ray because it wouldn't freaking matter anyway. So that's the Josh Allen that we know. And he alluded to that and admitted that to all of us yesterday. That said, I don't think that there will be any issues moving forward with Josh Allen based on what he said. Brandon Beane said nothing, was not even asked about it, I don't think, and nor was Joe Brady. Now, speaking of Joe Brady, Josh Allen, who went first on the podium, was also asked about his relationship with Joe Brady and how that was going. And he said that it's kind of, I mean, there's no issues here, but it's kind of odd to him that now that Joe Brady is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, their communication has actually gone down. So they don't speak as much as they used to, because remember, Joe Brady came into the Buffalo Bills as a quarterback's coach. So clearly, all day, every day was spent with Joe Brady for Josh Allen during his tenure as the quarterback coach. That's all he had to worry about. That was where his focus was solely And then when he became offensive coordinator, it went down a little bit, but still heavy involvement with Joe Brady as the OC. Now, since he's shifted to the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, the communication has actually slimmed some because of the fact that now there's a quarterback's coach. Now there's an offensive coordinator layered in between Joe Brady and Josh Allen. And Joe Brady now needs to also pay attention to the other side of the football and the special teams. So the idea of communication daily and all day, every day is simply not feasible between the quarterback and the head coach. Now, did he say that they just don't talk and then they're not involved in it? No, but it just went down. Something to note. Want to bring up one thing earlier in the year. If you guys, for those of you that have been with us for a while, I don't know if you remember this, but earlier on in the football season, we started this, I think, halfway through the year. I had put up some film. One of my first film-related videos was on Josh Allen. And I had said, and I'd come out here and told everybody that I feel, looking at film, Josh Allen's mechanics were off. My background, being a professional baseball player, pitcher, I know a thing or two about throwing mechanics. And they're relatively similar between baseball and football. Not identical, but similar. And I could tell in my mind that Josh Allen was a little wacky with his release of throwing the football in the beginning of the year. And I thought it was because he potentially may have been hurt. That's what happens with mechanics. When you get banged up, your body tells itself to throw something a little bit differently than you normally do to take pressure off of whatever may be injured, if it's something that plays a big role in the throwing mechanics. That said, Josh Allen came out yesterday and solidified what your boy Cold Front said earlier on in the year. So maybe I got something here, okay? He says this: battling mechanics last year early on in the season. Not worrying about throwing, more worrying about playing football where my eyes and feet are. That's his goal. So he did have mechanical issues, and he has for the first time actually admitted that publicly, and it tells me that I was spot on with what I said about his mechanics faltering early on and in the middle of the season. I'm not one to say, I told you so. I'm just saying that you can tell when broken down that he had something going on. And I do hope that his injuries, because he had, 100 of them throughout a football season, mostly small, of course, will not rear their head this year. And if someone that knows how to throw something, whether it be a baseball or a football or whatever, as well as Josh Allen, is mentally prepared to just trust himself enough to go throw the football the way that he knows how, he's obviously proven that for years and years and years. He's one of the best, if not the best, in football. Then he need not be thinking about your mechanics, because what happens when you're throwing something, especially come game time, when you have all the pressures from the stadium and the game and the other team, and that need not even get into. You start to think about mechanics and you mess yourself up. It makes it worse. Thinking about mechanics is for the offseason. Thinking about mechanics is in between games throughout the season, throughout the week, or for pitchers in between starts, or when you have an off day. You're working on bullpens. You're throwing routes to your receivers, working on mechanical changes that you might want to make. Not during the game. That is not the time to worry about or even think about the mechanical nature of throwing a football and or a baseball. There's no different. So this is the time for him to do that. And if he can get himself to where he says he wants to be, which is worrying about playing football where my eyes and feet are, instead of where are my hips in relativity to my shoulders and or my feet? And then my release point. Am I rotating too much? Am I getting through my target? Is my front arm strong enough? Or is it weak? There's a million things we can get into. And if you guys would look, we can go the entire video or episode and do that one day. The mechanics of throwing something, where you want it to go and with maximum velocity. But I'm happy to hear from him that he did have mechanical issues in his mind early and middle of last year, because it alludes to the fact that I promise you, I know a thing or two, and I'm happy that I was not seeing things, and that what I thought I saw was actually the truth. So we'll be paying attention to that early on in this year, 100%, and we'll get our hands on as much film as we can from training camps and these mini camps, and trying to find snippets of him throwing the football to see if he's changed anything in my mind, and I will clearly give that to you as soon as I see things. So he also says he had some bad stuff happen last year, trying to improve on the bad. That's mainly what they're focusing on, is the negativities from last year and how to improve the negatives, which I completely agree with. Joe Brady brings new signage, a new message, and new vibes. He says he's a new guy. We're respecting, and he's respecting the past for sure, but not shying away from it, but having his own twist on things. Competitive stamina. Joe embraces the role and stepped into it very nicely. He's very well respected by the locker room and will continue to grow. So that's also nice to hear, that Joe Brady is respected by those in the locker room as the head coach, and he's not being overshadowed or overlooked, and people are giving them respect that he needs as that head coach. Seamless transition with Kyle Allen, he spoke about briefly. Was asked about Sam Darnold. He said, Sam's a really good friend of mine. Haven't really spoke with. They don't speak much football. They talk about family and life and golf, he says, with Kyle Allen, who's the new backup quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. So I'm seeing a lot of comments in TikTok. I know it's hockey season, baby. Go Sabres. Go Sabres. I know, but this is a Bills channel. We're going to go through the pressers. Big day yesterday with the press conference. Talk some Sabres if you want, for sure. Let's move on here to some of these comments before I get too backed up, which is going to happen. I can just see it today. Hopefully we have a busy day in here. Shannon, I saw you. Why you say you'll be trading back? We'll be trading back, and can you explain what that actually means? Absolutely, Shannon. We'll get into that in just 2 minutes. KT Cat, I don't know what's going on, but go Bills. That is all. That is all, baby. Great hat, Patty says. Appreciate you. I am the Hat King on YouTube, the Buffalo Bills Hat King on YouTube and TikTok. KB, go Sobs. Yes. We love Josh. Buffalo forever. Yes, KB. Appreciate the follow, KB. What's up, Schwab? Oh, and the hearts, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. First gift, big move. Yeah, thanks so much, KB. Heart from Schwab as well. As always, appreciate that. Daniel, it's hockey season, boss, man. I know, Daniel. I know. Italian dude, love that hat, bro. Hey, man, thank you. That's 2 for the hat today, huh? Who cares? Let's go Sabres, Daniel says. It's always Bills season. That's true, Bills Mafia. Absolutely. TikToker, maybe a hot take. I'm cool with us taking almost nothing but defense in the draft. Not so hot take with me, because I'm almost with you until later on. Gabe Davis, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. I heard about 3,500 are going to be downtown tonight for the game. B says, I wouldn't doubt it one bit. Appreciate that follow. Bean's comments make me think we are trading back 100%. I'm with you. And that's what we're going to get into after I get over here and say hello to my YouTube peeps. Brian Webster in the building. Go out and restructure more contracts. We can keep Keon Coleman. We're going to keep Keon Coleman regardless, in my opinion. And we should go get more contracts restructured, go get more free. We're not going to get A.J. Brown. Spidey Muns, good to see you back with Dan on the live stream yesterday. Yeah, man, that was fun. Right after the draft, we were going to do something for Bill's Roundtable yesterday, to be honest with you. But that press conference went on and on and on and on. So right after the draft, we're going to get going with Bill's Roundtable. So excited for that. Very, very excited. How's everybody's morning? Very good. Good morning to you. Okay. His buddy, what do you think the Buffalo Bills should go to? Oh, okay. What's trade back mean, Spuddy? Okay, defense first, offense second, Brian. The roof will be blown off the building if he bangs that drum, Spuddy Munn says. I agree with you, and I'm telling you, just watch out for it. His reaction yesterday was like he was trying to keep a secret. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know. Could be wrong. Should we trade to go get Myles Garrett? No, that won't happen. Should the Buffalo Bills get more defense and edge rusher and tight ends and wide receivers? Definitely defense. I think that's what's going to happen. You should go live tomorrow with Dan Cold Front. Hopefully we'll be going live with Dan more often coming up here shortly. Dan and his crew at Roundtable Sports are actually going to be at the draft this week, which is awesome. Stephen DeLeon, West Texas. What up, baby? I think Josh not having the best year last year was good for him and will make him lock in and be better, not be so reckless. I agree. He needs to take a little bit of a step back with trying to make things happen that might not really be there. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you there. Jonas in the building. Morgan Cold Front. Let's do this. Odds of seeing Josh pound a beer tonight on the Jumbotron. I don't know if he's going to pound a beer, dude. Does he pound beers? I don't even know if he does. He's not an O lineman. Those guys definitely will. Alec Anderson will pound 7. I'm putting that at a stretch. I'm like 12-1 that Josh Allen's going to pound a beer on the Jumbotron. But I'm actually putting him at like 5 or 6-1 that he's banging the drum. That's my take. Go Jets. Okay, go Jets. Sheet Metal Man says. All right. You're always welcome. Dustin from here. Dustin. My name is Dustin. Welcome, my brother. We got to trade back, right? I think we will. Makes the most sense in my eyes, and I also think that we need to. Follow the create. Hey, appreciate the follow, Dustin. What do the Sabres need to do to win tonight's game and keep the momentum going? Dreamy Dusk. My opinion, again, I'm not an enormous hockey guy. From what I've seen, they need to figure out something on the freaking power play. That seems somewhat disastrous. I'd like to see more chances at deflected shots. I saw the first goal of Dallas last night, and it ricocheted and caromed off the back glass back into the goal and hit the back shoulder of the goalie and clinked into the net. I'm not saying that's a very good chance of that happening, but I just want to keep the shots on goal much more than Boston. Continue the physical play. I think they outplayed Boston for sure. I think Boston got relatively lucky on their first goal, although it happens, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. Rip that thing off the leg pad of the goalie. Get good caroms and good angles. But again, I'm not a hockey genius. That's just what I see when I watch. For the love of God, can we draft linebackers? Nuka number said, I think that they will. Does Dan Mitchell say some crazy stuff just for clickbait? His takes are wild sometimes, Dustin from here says. No, I don't really think he's a clickbait guy. I actually think he knows what he's talking about. Now, from time to time, do you want to get the attention of people? Yeah, but I don't think it's just clickbait. I really don't. And like anybody, especially in this scenario, when the draft is coming up, and that's all we've been really talking about for a month and a half or whatever, I think that it's very easy to change your mind based on outside influences and what you're hearing, what you're seeing. And I think that does happen. I mean, I've changed my mind. I definitely don't try to attract someone based on something crazy, but I don't really know that game. You know what I'm saying? This isn't I wish it was. I'd love for this to be my full-time gig. If we can get enough help, subscribe and follow immediately and tell all your friends and family. But if we can make this thing full-time, I'd love to do it. And then it would be a little bit different. You'd have to figure out ways to really monetize the best you can. You know what I'm saying? How many games are there in the playoffs? Best of 7 right away. Best of 7 right away for hockey. So we need 3 more games. So it's 16 total games that they need to win. So 15 more. Little different than most sports, at least used to be. Basketball and baseball, with a shortened series in the beginning of the playoffs and then extended to 7 later on. But hockey apparently is 7 from the rip, baby. From the rip. Follow, subscribe, please. Love all of you. When we get to 500 on YouTube, we're giving away a jersey. All right? We are giving away a jersey, free jerseys to a random subscriber. Your choice of any new Buffalo Bill that is on the roster this season that was not last season. From the draft, free agency, you could DJ Moore from a trade, whatever. Up to you. Up to you. Spidey, yeah, I know that's a lot of games, but hockey is, a little bit less than football in terms of how quick the games go. It's not, listen, it's very physical, so you can make the argument. It's like they need some freaking time off. But, hey, these guys are tough as hell, and I enjoy watching the sport, man. I got to say, because, you watch a hockey game, right? Like we watched the Buffalo Sabres 2 nights ago. Oh, breaking news. Well, a few minutes ago, Mike Tomlin is signing a contract with NBC Sunday Night Football pregame show to do the pregame as an analyst. Yeah, that didn't last long doing nothing, huh? For Mike Tomlin. Big Papa Pump says, really upset about A.J. Brown going to New England. Would love to have him in Buffalo. I'm actually against him, truthfully, Big Papa. I don't want him on the Buffalo Bills. It doesn't bother me all that much that he will most likely, it seems, be going to New England. Do I want to face him twice a year? No, but I don't know. To me, it's okay. Big bet. Do you think he'll ever coach again now? I don't know. Maybe not. Depending on how much money they give him, shit. Just talking football, without the pressures, I don't have a clue, honestly. I don't know enough about him to know if he'll try to get back into the game or not. All right, let's get into Brandon Beane yesterday. Okay, we went through Josh Allen. We're going to get into Brandon Beane. A lot of fluff, in my opinion, in Brandon Beane's interview and the questions that he was answering. But a couple things did stick out, and this is why I think that Brandon Beane told us that he is almost guaranteed to trade back. In the event, of course, you need a trade partner. Someone, another team, needs to be willing to make a move as well. There's, it takes two to tango, as they say. But here's why. Here, I'm just going to get right into the meat of it. This is his quote. Even if we had 3 2s, meaning second rounders, 3, and someone offers something that makes sense, we'd go back. So even if they had 3 second-round picks, and for some reason he made this a point, right? Even if they had 3 second-round picks and someone made them a good enough offer, they would trade back. Now, that's somewhat of a blanket statement. I understand. If somebody makes you a good enough offer, no matter where you sit, you're going to take it, right? But he went on and on by also telling us that the amount on their board, on the Bills' top draft board, the amount of players that they have graded in-house as round 1 talents are much smaller or skinnier than in years past. He didn't give an actual number. He didn't say how many players were actually round 1 talent in their mind. But he said that there are much lesser amount of round 1 prospects this year than in past years, which again tells us that there's just not the talent pool that we've seen in the past few years, or I'm sorry, the Bills have seen in the past few years. So again, another reason why would they try to force a pick at 26 when there's not that many first round talents on the board? Unless, of course, who they do feel is a first round talent falls to 26, and in which case, Lord knows who they feel is that way. Okay? Garrison says, Drake May owns Buffalo. Don't get me started on Drake May, please. That's a crazy, crazy statement. That's actually a shitty statement. It doesn't make any sense. It simply does not make any sense. He's 1-1. I mean, last year. What are you doing? And you had the worst playoff performance of all time. Drake May did. Sorry. I can't, you can't argue it. It's real. Big Papa Pump. Thank you. Do you think it's possible for someone to trade a wide receiver and a second or third for our first? Like the Cardinals give us Michael Wilson and a pick for our first. I think it's possible. I would rather, well, I mean, depending on the player, of course, I would probably rather take 2 picks. Okay, so for Shannon and Brian, excuse me, they both asked, what does trade back mean? Trading back means the Bills are slated to pick in the first round at number 26. Okay, they have the 26th overall pick this year. If they find a team that says, hey, we'll give you, for instance, the Arizona Cardinals, who I think, like Spidey's mentioned, is actually one of the main targets to potentially do this with the Bills. We have 26. The Cardinals have like 34 and 67 or 34 and 65. I could look this up to tell you the truth because I posted it the other day. Let me find it real quick. Sorry. Okay. They have 34 and 65. So if the Cardinals say, hey, we really want this 26th pick because we don't pick again till 34, and the guy that we want, we feel will be picked between 26 and 33, meaning we don't think that the person that we want is going to fall to 34. We'll give you 34 and pick number 65 for your 26th pick. So we gain 2 picks, of course, a little bit further back than our 26th pick, but we get 2 for our 1. And to me, that's where the value is in this draft. And if the Cardinals are willing to do that, I would say if I'm Brandon Beane, I'm doing that all day long. Especially because what's going on with Jacoby Brissett, their quarterback, who's not attending phase 1 of the offseason program, and he's asking for more money because he would like to be paid as a starter now that Murray's gone. So they're not paying him. He thinks he should be paid. And to me, they need to get a quarterback then, because if Jacoby Brissett's the guy that they think is going to be their starter, well, then they would pay him. And they haven't done that. So if they don't think that he's their starter moving forward for the future, well, then they need to get a quarterback. And Fernando Mendoza is going 1. Therefore, Ty Simpson will probably be the only other option that they will most likely have. And that said, it seems as if the projection is that he would be gone by 33. So if he's still there by 26, the Arizona Cardinals, I think we have a real legitimate chance to get 34 and 65 in trade for 26. And that is what I think the Bills will do. That is what I think the Bills will do. Brandon Beane went on to say a few other things I tell everybody every year, we don't need to necessarily hit homers. We don't need to find that guy with enormous upside and a very low floor. Let's hit a whole bunch of singles, doubles, triples potentially. Those are the words that he used. Okay. And he also mentioned, he says, if you pick at 26, it's going to be a long wait to 91, which is where the Bills' next pick would be. If they don't trade back and they pick someone at 26, they have to wait to 91 unless they trade up again. They give away 91 in one of their fifths or something, for an early third rounder, late second rounder, potentially. I don't know. But if they don't do any trades, they go 26. They got to wait a long time to 91. And the depth of this draft, in my opinion, the real high value is in between 26 and 91. It's more, in my opinion, like 30 to 65, which is where I think the holes that the Bills have can be filled much easier in those picks than later on or even prior to, truthfully. So that's why I think volume of picks this year in that sweet spot is very, very important. Go Bills. Go Bills. Chase Norman coming in says, breaking news, Bills suck. 0 Super Bowls. 0 Super Bowls won. That just proves how poor they are. Go Seahawks. Congratulations, my friend. Appreciate the follow, Big Papa Pump. Congratulations. You are just straight up wasting your time in here. I appreciate you hanging out. Give me a follow while you're at it. Seahawks, great team. Really good team. Defensive juggernaut, really. They've always kind of been a defensive-minded team. Played fantastic last year. Kudos to them. And I'm happy for them. I actually don't mind the team at all. But coming in here and saying that is just silly. I mean, I know it's rage, but trading back is a bad idea, Jay says. Take a guy who can make a difference day one. Fill other holes with vets. Yeah, well, okay. So, Jay, great point. But who's the guy then, in your opinion? Who's definitely going to be there at 26 that can make a difference day one? And in what position are you talking about? Hey, what's up, Tay, my guy? What's up, man? 2 days left until the big day. You aren't kidding, my brother. Like, don't you have a Seahawks podcast to go listen to? Why waste the time? Christian Miller, Jay says. Okay. Now, that's a name that doesn't usually get brought up for a first-round 26 pick. That said, I don't mind Christian Miller. I think he's a very good player. But if you're going to go Christian Miller, he's not necessarily the make a massive dent immediately guy. I mean, he's graded at will eventually be a good starter. That's where he's graded. Take that for what it's worth. But Katie McDonald is the guy that would make a immediate impact. Have you guys accepted yet that it wasn't a catch? David, well, it was a catch, so good for you. Cooper Gow. How about them Sabres, baby? How about them Sabres? Yoo-hoo! Josh Allen banging the drum tonight. Almost guaranteed, brother. Sled hockey. Appreciate that follow, my friend. Robert Serena says, need to go after tackles, need to stop the run. Go Bills. Robert, you're absolutely correct. You are reading my mind. My take this entire time has been go nose tackle if Keon McDonald is there, stop the run, and I'm going to give you a few numbers here. The run needs to be stopped immediately, and then pressure on the quarterback needs to be had immediately, and I'm going to give you a few reasons why. In the playoffs, boys and girls, since 2020, the Buffalo Bills have given up 127 yards on the ground per game in the playoffs and 137 yards per game on the ground in the playoff losses. Now, in those same playoff losses, which are 6, by the way, 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that's 6. We have 6 total sacks for a combined loss of 22 yards. So in 6 playoff losses over the last 6 years, we have 22 negative yards against the opposing team in sacks 6 times. So 1 a game for, what is that, minus 3 yards? 3.25 yards? That's simply not good enough when it comes to playoff football. It's simply not. Now, if you stop the run and hold them to 70 yards, okay, I'll give you a little bit of a pass because they can't control the football that well. Now, if you can sack the quarterback 3-4 times a game for minus 25, 30 yards a game, then I'm going to tell you that stopping the run, you can give up a few more yards on the ground and still contain and manage the game because you're pushing the offense back with how many times you're sacking the quarterback. You got to do at least one of the two. Okay? In my mind, we're going to get after the quarterback more so than we have based on pure aggression and play calling and the way that Jim Leonhard wants to run his defense. However, you need to stop the run first. That's my goal. That would be my plan if I'm the general manager and Joe Brady, is stop the run first. That being said, that's why I go nose tackle. And yes, I go someone with an immediate impact nose tackle. Okay? Which, in my opinion, if he's there, is Katie McDonald. Now, can you go to the Lee Hunters of the world? Yes, you can. Can you wait a little bit? Maybe a Christian Miller. Absolutely. Can you go Big Orange? Possibly. Corleone? Maybe. Okay, I can kind of get into that. There's names out there. There's people out there. But I'd rather go as solidified as you possibly can for an immediate impact, stopping the run and making this defense a better team right now. Let's get back into some of these. Take it, Spidey says. I'd accept that trade. Big Papa Bill. What's up, Big Papa Bill? Take the Cardinals trade. Yes, if we can do that, I think he'd be silly not to. Not saying it's going to happen, but I think it'd be silly. He should get paid. Who's he? Maybe I forgot. Sorry, Spidey. Who the hell's he? Who should get paid? Jonas says, do you think those with the Concepcion Desire 26 are due to punt return abilities? If so, punt that idea and look at Barry and Brown from LSU late round. Sure. Yeah, and I don't even know because they just signed Trent Sherfield too. Wide receiver Trent Sherfield, who, in my opinion, was mainly for special teams. And we have McCole Hardman. I mean, if he can hold on to the football, he's a very good returner. I don't know. That's good. Maybe. I don't think you take somebody that high just because he's got a little edge for punt return, though. Maybe I could be wrong. Unless he's Deshaun Jackson. Easy, Cold Front. No Bones isn't going to want to hear about draft. I know. Where is No Bones? No Bones, are you out there? While I'm talking about Katie McDonald and defense and stopping the run, I'm actually thinking about No Bones, and I'm like, oh, shit. I'm going to piss him off. I'm going to piss No Bones off. He's going to get mad at me. He's going to get mad. Allen's Alps. What's up, Allen's Alps? Did you change your name? The thumbnail looks familiar, but I don't remember the name. If I just forgot, my apologies, man. McDonald or Miller at nose tackle also set the tone physically, which doesn't necessarily show itself stats-wise. I agree. I really want a top nose tackle. Well, Allen's Alps, were you on Dan Mitchell's live show yesterday when we were talking about this? Because it's exactly, I'm not saying you're stealing my thunder, but that's exactly what I said yesterday. And if you weren't there, then we're just simply on the same page. Either way we are. The nose tackle is not a sexy pick. The nose tackle is supposed to, in my mind, the one that I want, the type of nose tackle that I want, eats up space, takes double teams, and frees up the rest of the defensive line to do what? Get at the quarterback. And will obviously stop the run as well. So it might not show up. I said this yesterday too. It might not show up in the stat sheet. They might not have 25 tackles for loss. He might not have 55, 58 tackles on a year. I don't care. If he's taking double, triple teams and he's freeing up, let's talk about him, Ed Oliver, Deion Walker, Bradley Chubb, Greg Russo, TJ Sanders, Michael Hoyt, the potential blitzing Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams. If he can do all that and free everybody else up, then that's what he's paid to do. It's what he's paid to do. We equated it yesterday to, for the love of the game routes. A lot of times you see the real vertical deep threat wide receivers running deep routes with basically no expectation of the target going his way, but he's clearing out the field for all of the underneath, intermediate, and short routes. Just bringing defenders with him to open up the field for the rest of his wide receiver crew and or tight ends or backs or whatever. That's kind of what a D tackle does, man. A nose tackle, I should say. Excuse me. In my mind, that's what the best ones do. They own the line of scrimmage. They don't get pushed back. They don't get tossed around, and they free everyone else up. The unsung heroes. You meant Brissett should get paid. Yeah, well, I hope he doesn't, and I hope that the Cardinals would like to trade up to 26 and give us 34 and 65. Right, Spidey? So, although I'd like to see everybody get paid, I hope he doesn't. We got to go defense, Pink says. That's a fact. I agree. Wait, what? Big Papa, the same exact catch happened in the Rams game a day later. Yes, it did. And I actually highlighted that. You can find that. I did a little short video on that. Same shit. Oh, sled hockey's going tonight. Oh, my word. You're going to have a great time. Man, I'm very excited for you. And people hate on Josh Allen like he doesn't play defense, can't win if defense can't stop anyone. Exactly, 100%. Bro, you told me you're a Ravens fan. What? River Muchacho? Who are you talking about? I know you're not talking to me. Those words would have never come out of my mouth. We got to go defense. Agreed. That's a fact. Yeah, Shannon, what happened to Landon Jackson? Is he still on our team? Because that was a bust. Landon Jackson is on the team. And Landon Jackson busted his knee last year when he finally got on the field. He didn't play many snaps last year, but he busted up his knee. I forget which week it was. It was like latter half, but I forget when exactly. And actually, Thigh Doctor, I think we just let me find this. I'm going to find it. I'm going to show you guys. It appears that he had some MCL surgery, as a matter of fact, because there's a photo from their workouts here that shows a scar, and our guy Thigh Doctor, who I always resort to when I need some information, medical information. I know TikTok you can't see this, Shannon, but Thigh Doctor says starting to think Landon Jackson actually had an MCL surgery. Don't think it was reported in quotations or in parentheses. Timeline tracks 6 months plus or minus full recovery, and you can see a photo of his knee. The inside of his knee, there is a scar. And it looks pretty fresh. Like it's dark, it's red. It's not, back to normal skin color. So Landon Jackson apparently will have a plus or minus 6 month recovery, but he's there in the gym working out with the boys. He's still on the team, Shannon. He's under a rookie contract because he was drafted last year. So he's not really going anywhere unless I guess they could release him or find someone that would want to trade for him. So far, he's kind of looking like a bust, but until he's completely healthy and still does not, provide anything, I personally can't label him a bust just yet. Red, White, and Bill, as a fan, which is worse, my Lions never being there or your Bills being there and can't win? Oh, boy, that's a great question. I think at this moment in time, the Bills fans, although we really need to win a Super Bowl, going to a Super Bowl would be extremely exciting. Hughes says, go Pats. Is the Bills Super Bowl window closed? Absolutely not a chance. Soda Barbecue. Stoda. Appreciate that file. What you think of Bo Nix? I feel like I get asked this every day. I think Bo Nix is pretty decent quarterback. And I think he's got, I mean, obviously the team's gotten even better. Jalen Waddle, right? So I think he's going to have a pretty good year. I like him. I hope he stays healthy. How TikTok just lining us up together now. Yeah, man. Exactly. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the likes, boys and girls. Can you imagine the difference on our defense if we got McDonald and Trotter? I mean, these are two of my guys. Like that's what I'm. Yes, I mean, yes, I can, and I have envisioned it in my mind 57,000 times. Allen's, maybe more, maybe a few more, but absolutely. Josiah Trotter and Caden McDonald are kind of like, it's close to my perfect pair, my perfect pairing as far as draft picks are concerned. Really, and I mean that. I would absolutely love it, but that's the defense that I'm talking about. That is, in my opinion, much necessary. If you see me on the thruway, just look for my Bills Mafia license plate. Oh shit, get out of here. How does it read exactly? Stoda. And where are you from? Are you from Buffalo? You tripping. Go Bills, baby. Go Bills. Anybody want to play fantasy football this year? If you do, coldfrontbuffalo@gmail.com. Send me an email. We'll get you in. We need only a couple spots left. We're going to set this thing up and have Cold Front Buffalo chat fantasy football. It's going to be fantastic. AFMZLB. Okay, Canastota. Yep. Between Syracuse and Utica. Gotcha. I'm from originally the Binghamton area. Now I live Schuyler County, Watkins Glen area. Buffalo Bays says, hearing the nose tackle position is deep in this draft. Shouldn't we draft a wide receiver in the first instead? Not me. Not me. Abbreviated Bills Mafia for when you see me in your rearview mirror. Gotcha. Okay. Different topic, Jonas says. Is baseball season in full force for you guys yet? And have you bought all that swag needed for mini cold front to keep up with the times? What a question. You remember that conversation? He's on my ass every single day, bro. But I got to tell you what. Okay? Understand this for all of you that have kids. This has nothing to do with the Buffalo Bills or the Sabres or anything, but sports in general. When I was 12 years old, okay, I was like 5'9", 5'10". I was so, quote unquote, good at baseball and so big and strong that the pitchers, when I was 12 in Little League, had to put helmets on when I came up to the plate. They made that a rule, so I didn't kill a kid. You know, they couldn't say you can't play, I guess, but literally they had to put helmets on. I literally, when I was 12, hit like 35 home runs. It was stupid. But not all kids develop at the same time. So I have a now 12-year-old son, along with a 9-year-old son, but the 12-year-old son, Cold Front Jr., that Jonas is speaking of, who you guys have seen on this channel, and you'll definitely see at least on maybe draft night, definitely for live game reactions. We all love doing that. Anyway, he was tall, lengthy, but he was goofy as all hell. Like when he was growing up, I mean, he's still growing up. And he had huge feet, big hands, so we knew he was going to be big, but he just wasn't growing into his body yet. All right? He was freaking goofy. Not athletic at all. And I was like, oh, boy, what am I going to do with this? You know, this is not, I don't know. I'm pretty big athlete in my day. I don't know what to do. Last year was basically his first full year of playing baseball, if I'm being honest with you. Bought into it, loved it. Not so great. Middle of the pack, maybe just naturally. But we put in so much freaking work last year. Extra time. Every day we no practice, no game. We're at the field. I'm throwing him BP, catching bullpens, you know, hitting fungos, ground balls, fly ball. Then he signs up and he makes this last fall, this a travel baseball team. So we get this indoor facility open to us 24/7 throughout the winter. Now we play basketball, but we can get in there and get our hacks in, get our work in throughout the winter as well. And he comes out this year. Okay. This is like 2 weeks ago. because we're in upstate New York. I mean, it just became decent enough to get out onto a fucking baseball field. And this kid, I'm not kidding. Well, first, he's like 5'6" now. 12. Yep. Thin, slender, good body type, if I'm being honest. I hope he doesn't go like his dad and drink too many beers and, get fat. But the kid's smashing the baseball. And all of a sudden, he's completely different. Hitting balls over the fence like 40% of his swings, even when he misses balls, he just pops it up, misses by a quarter inch. It's still traveling over the fence. Kids are scared now. We just had our first couple of practices last week. Kids are scared now to play second. He's left-handed, by the way. Scared to play second base because they're too damn close. He's hitting piss missiles, and these kids are getting freaking scared as shitless. Throwing the ball hard. Still got to hone him in on the mound. He's not exactly commanding all his pitches in the strike zone all the time. But my point, I'm now giving him kind of goals. Okay. You want all this fancy Ronald Acuna Jazz Chisholm shit, like hologram belts and pinky guards and elbow guards and hand guards and knees and shins and all this other fucking sliding mitts, on both hands. Because if you have one, you need both. Not like years ago. Just slide, and if you cut your hand, you cut your fucking hand. Throw some water on that shit and move on, baby. Okay? A little different. So now, to Jonas's question, he's requiring and asking for all of this shit. Okay. I tell you what. We go out and we throw a bullpen 3 times this week. Every second, or 2 times this week. You throw me 75% strikes, 75% strikes. You get half the money for a leg guard or whatever guard. We take BP for the next 2 weeks. We're going to count your weak-ass flailing foul balls over the third base dugout because he's left-handed. He kind of dips a little bit, trying to get him through the zone, a little bit better bat path through the zone. So his negatives are weak, flailing fly balls, foul balls over the third base dugout. I can't stand them. They're just weak. That's the one thing that frustrates me. I love him as a pitcher. But, you keep that under 3 of those per round for 2 weeks, $10 towards your thing. So that's kind of where we're going because now he's showing some signs and he's like, oh, shit, Dad, I'm actually pretty good at baseball. I'm like, well, that's what fucking happens, bud, when you outwork everybody. Okay? Everybody. There's not a single soul that is working as hard as him. And that's what happens. So with these kids that want all this fancy shit, I'm starting now to, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can earn it, but you don't just get it because Jazz Chisholm's wearing it. Well, Jazz Chisholm makes $18.5 million a year. Bud, if you do that, you're not going to ask your dad what the fuck you can wear anymore. Quite frankly, I'm going to be asking you, can you buy me this condo? I mean, can you buy me this ranch out in Montana, please? I need 350 acres so I can have 200 cows. Okay? I'm going to be coming to you, my brother. Forget about that. But until you make that kind of money, I got to buy it, and I'm not buying shit. I said, when was the last time you fouled the ball off the inside of your right leg when you were hitting? Well, I haven't. Well, then what the hell do you need an ankle guard for? Please tell me. You've never fouled a ball off the top of your foot or the inside of your ankle. Ever. You just told me. But you need to put a $100 piece of plastic that is fluorescent green over the instep of your right foot. For some reason. I mean, this is getting crazy. This shit is getting crazy out there. So, again, all I'm doing now is tying this into goals of becoming a better baseball player. Because if you're or a football or basketball, same shit with basketball and football. They're playing football too. So tie it in. If you want to buy in and you want to really actually get after it and commit, full-blown commitment, then I'm so in. I'm getting you what you want if you can prove that you're going to buy in, commit, and get better. And I hate to say that, but I'm just an old school thinker. Their participation trophies to me are bogus and they're stupid. I hate to say it. So production is how the world works. And even outside of youth sports, I mean, listen, at some age, everyone's there to have fun and everybody's got to play and stuff. But eventually, you got to put up, right? You got to put up. And that's the way the world is. So even after their sport career, their athletic career, whenever that may be, well, you're not going to make it in the real world either. You have to actually go win a job interview. You actually have to go win a salary or a contract with someone to be able to buy the house that you want or the car that you want. You have to go win over and over and over. So the lessons taught in athletics when these kids are young, to me, this is just a father, and I'm not saying the world's greatest father. I mean, we can have these conversations for hours and hours. I'm just saying, to me, we have to prove that there's value there in order to get these crazy things. Anyway, sorry about that rant. Hope that answered your question, Jonas. I'm surprised you remember that, but yes, it's still in conversation. It gets reminded to me every single day. Soda Barbecue, off to work I go. Nice meeting you all. Go Bills, baby. Go Bills. Have a great day. My company is now the official sponsor of the Sabres. What? Wait. Who's your company? You own it? What? That's crazy. That's freaking awesome. Okay. Kurganelli. Good morning, Kurganelli. How are you? What's his bat? Icon Hype Fire. So he's swinging last year's Hype Fire at the moment. And of course, yes, they actually want the icon, like the what is it, blue? I think it's bluish. We actually went to where were we? Rochester. When we went to Red Wings a couple weekends ago, we stopped at the House of Sports, the Dicks. Kurganelli, aren't you in Rochester? We stopped at the House of Sports and did a little bat fitting, actually. They have the indoor simulators, just like if you're going to get fitted for a set of golf clubs. And we went through a few bats. They didn't have everything, but there was another bat that his exit velo and his launch angle were the best. It was not the icon, even though, that's the cool thing. Again, that's the cool thing. The Bat Bros and shit, all those guys use them. And anyway, right now he's using a Hype Fire. Actually, both the kids are. They both have their Hype Fires from last year. What first round pick of ours would just piss you off? Well, great question. I know most did not enjoy that portion of this live, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I went on a rant, folks. I'm very sorry. I'm not, I'm not saying I'm father of the year either. I'm not trying to portray how to be a dad to anybody. All right, Spuddy, back on topic. What first round pick of ours would just piss you off? Well, offensive guard. I saw that mocked by a well-known figure a week or so ago. That would piss me the F off, truthfully. Denzel Boston would probably piss me the hell off, if I'm being honest. Although Dylan Thieneman's my guy and has been forever at this juncture, I would say that a safety would probably frustrate me. And it would probably be McNeil Warren at this point because I don't think Dylan Thieneman will last. So that would frustrate me, having 93 safeties when we obviously have other voids to fill. Yeah, those three, I guess. Tight end would be pretty stupid. That'd be really stupid. I know Sadiq is a freak, but he's not going to last anyways. But tight end would be stupid. Dominic Rodriguez, what's up, brother? Go Bills. Hat is fire. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Squash says A.J. Brown to the Bills is into this or no? No, not at all. Not at all for me. Go Bills, LK. Where do you think Diggs is going to go? Jail. Sorry. Hope nobody took offense to that. Let's see here. Spidey, what about you? That's a great question. Everybody in the chat, please tell me who you would think. What would piss you off for a first round 26 pick by the Buffalo Bills? What would piss you off the most? Hit me in the chat because I'm curious to think what all you think. You heard mine. Just curious what you think. LK says the correct response. Squash, laughing, ha. Dominic Rodriguez, he knows ball. Okay. So Squash says wide receiver as a whole would piss him off. Yeah, I wouldn't be thrilled if we take Concepcion. I'm gonna get behind him because I actually really like him. I do. I really like Concepcion. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not saying that it's him that would be my issue. The position would be my issue. But Concepcion is a hell of a player. And if he came here, I would root for him as much as anybody, honestly. Now, if we could trade back from 26 to 34 and get 65, and Concepcion is there at 34, I would be less remiss. I would be less upset if you take him at 34, and then you can still get potentially the Trotter or the Lee Hunter, maybe, if he squeaks. You know what I mean? He deserves to be in jail. Bob Stahl, what's up? Staheli. I mispronounce this every day. I'm just going to call you Bob. I'm very sorry. I think I mispronounce it every single day. If we only had a third after first, a wide receiver would piss me off. If we only had right, exactly, Spidey. It's exactly what my mind is. If you got to go from 26 to 91 and you go to wide receiver and you don't get anything in between, that's my whole point. Nah, bro. Bills Nation. What's up, Bills Nation? Nah, bro. Dan Mitchell definitely clickbaits hard. Have you not seen some of his titles to his pre-live podcast? Yeah, I watch his stuff and I'm on with him sometimes. I like Dan. I really do. I don't know. I haven't really caught on, honestly, to the clickbait. Again, like I said before, is he trying to get attention? Sure. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Now, I don't think that he's just straight up lying about stuff, though. Like, I think yesterday when I was on with him, I think that his actually, I don't even know what it was, but I think the title was something along the lines of we just got good news. Well, let's look. Great news. Bill's got a flurry of good news leading up to the NFL draft. I don't disagree with that. I think that press conference gave us a lot of good news. Josh Allen's injury is not a thing. Keon Coleman, we've got solidification on that. Brandon Beane also told us that he's willing to do whatever it takes to move the needle. I mean, Josh Allen also tells us that him and Joe Brady and the relationship and the respect that he's been given from the entire locker room since he's moved into that role has been nothing but fantastic. I think that's great news. That's only one. But I don't see how that's what is it? A clickbait, truthfully. I like him, but he's more for people that don't follow the X's and O's. Oh, I guess maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'd like Dan. He's a great guy. I think he knows ball for sure. He's got a certain avenue that he goes after, really good into the metrics and the numbers for sure. Yeah, that was a great video by him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was on that one. I was with him all day yesterday on that last live. I don't know if you saw that, but that's probably why it was so great. You know what I'm saying? Cold front was in there, baby. Go! I'm only kidding. Dan's fantastic. He's got an enormous channel. I mean, hell, the guy does this for a living. Here I am sitting at whatever, 340, not even subscribers. He shouldn't be taking notes from me. I think he should be all the way around. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality. Bills Mafia, baby. 7 playoff losses, 32 points on average given up in those games. Exactly. Squash, thank you. Wide receiver would piss you off. Okay, yep, fair enough. Can you draft someone and then trade them? Yeah. I mean, didn't that happen with Eli Manning? Or was that before the draft? Before the pick was made? I don't see why not. I really don't. I mean, you have – sorry, boys and girls. Getting a little funky. There we go. I don't want to – it sounds really bad, but when you draft them, you own them. Right? I mean, you got to sign them, though, right? You still got to sign them. I guess they could just – you got to sign them first, I think. Because they could just say, nah, I'm not playing. Right? I'm not showing up. You don't have to pay them. Chiefs fan says, Chief Kingdom, question for you. Excited, confident, or worried about upcoming season? And when, for you folks out there, when is Patrick Mahomes due back? He had the worst season of his career statistically, but I'm curious. I mean, I would obviously have to think that he's going to bounce back. He can't. I don't think he's going to play that poor again. But I don't know if it's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying, for the Chiefs? When is he going to be back? The one thing I do know is whenever he'll be back, they'll schedule the Bills and Chiefs game for after that. Now, we're not going to play the Chiefs prior to Patrick Mahomes coming back. That is for damn sure. Bob Style says, you will get there. Probably shows. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. That was after the draft. I think Eli did not want to play. Right. Exactly. That's what I thought so, too. I thought that was exactly what happened. So he's like, nah. Really don't want to go out there and be a Charger, so I'm good. Figure something out. That type of shit. Was after pick was made, Bills Nation. Yep, technically at any point, Bills could have traded the rights to Jim Kelly. Right. Now, again, though, don't these – okay, so they trade the rights to him. Okay, so maybe they don't have to sign first. They trade the rights. Makes sense. Yep. Week 5 is Spidey's guess. Chief longtime fan says, excited, will make the Super. Holy shit, okay, that's a little ballsy, but all right. Do you know when he's coming back? Bills going this year with Josh Newchild. Yes, Bills are going into their season. Josh Allen as a father, a girl dad, by the way, which is fantastic. We just went on a rant about being a father. I do not have a girl, 2 boys, so I can't speak to the girl thing, but I can speak to a father, and it does change your why. That is for damn sure. I just hope that Josh Allen just doesn't up one day and say, nah, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to play anymore. I mean, that could happen. I hope it doesn't, but yeah, that's kind of what I fear. I don't think he's going to play forever. But could change. Could change. All right, so nobody wants a wide receiver in here. Where is No Bones? No Bones, where are you? Because No Bones absolutely wants a wide receiver. T-Dub, Allen ain't it, Buffalo. T-Dub, who are you a fan of, T-Dub? Appreciate the follow there, Alien Man. I don't know what your name is, but it's a little alien head. Allen ain't it, he says. T-Dub says. Oh, what's your thoughts on McDermott being fired? I'll keep this as short as I can. McDermott, great coach. Enjoyed, personally, as a fan, what he did for Buffalo and the Buffalo Bills. So let's not forget what he did for – T-Dub, you're a Steelers fan and you're telling us Allen ain't it? Do you even know – you don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Your quarterback, okay? Let's go off. I'll get back to my point. So your quarterback, T-Dub, it's such a prima donna, and I like Aaron Rodgers, and I thought his career is as good as any. I think he's just prolonging it for no reason. But Aaron Rodgers is such a dick that it's 2 days before the NFL draft, and he's not even telling his team if he wants to come back and play football until after the draft. I mean, come on. So how is Steelers supposed to go into the damn draft not knowing what the F to do? That's fucked up, man. Excuse my language. But it's stuff like that frustrates me. That really frustrates me. Josh Allen would not do that. So Josh Allen might not be, I mean, I really think that he is going to win a Super Bowl. I really truthfully do. If he doesn't, it has nothing to do with Josh Allen. Put it that way. But if he ever made a move, like Aaron Rodgers has made many moves like this over the past few years, I would be saddened to no end, if I'm being honest. T-Dub says, Aaron ain't in it either. Okay. AG Cairo. My dad's a Ram fan. Okay. T-Dub, what? Yeah, are you saying what to Alien? I think you are, because I don't know what he means either. Or she. Did McDermott? Okay, so back to McDermott. I'm sorry. McDermott did a lot for Western Buffalo, did a lot for the Buffalo Bills organization, obviously. turn this thing around, right? The drought, the whole thing, the culture, respect the whole thing. Unfortunately, though, at some point, you as much as I think that Terry Pagula did somewhat of a horrible job in his presser. Oh, Cairo, what's up, Cairo? I get you. Thank you. I agree that with what he said in terms of the needle has been moved. So since McDermott came to Buffalo, the needle has been moved. The needle was down here when he came here, and it was, holy shit, we haven't been in the playoffs in forever. Let's just get to the playoffs, right? And when they did, it was a huge freaking win. Holy shit, we made it to the playoffs. It's kind of like the Sabres. And then a couple years went on, and they made the playoffs multiple times. And we're like, oh shit, it's a pretty good football team. Oh shit, we got Josh Allen. That man fucking rocks. And then it was win your division 5 years in a row. Right? So now it's not even just make the playoffs. Now it's win the division, get a 2 seed, get home games in the playoff, make multiple AFC championships in the playoffs. So now it's holy shit. Making the playoffs is no longer what needs to be done. The needle is now up here. Now it's Super Bowl or shit anymore in Buffalo. And you can only do the same thing so often before you have to say, we got to try something slightly different here, ladies and gentlemen. So although it stung and it kind of stinks, I got to be honest, I do feel that it was probably the right thing to do for the Buffalo Bills. We need to try something different. And although I love Sean McDermott, it just so damn close, it just wasn't happening. That's why I support the decision. Although in the beginning I was like, holy shit, what happened here? Was Beane sabotaging McDermott? Is this a knife in the back? Because that guy got freaking promoted the same day that this guy got fired. You know, it was emotional. When you take a step back and time goes on, the reality is Charlotte is North Carolina. The reality is that I do think something needed to happen. I really do. So, Spidey says, did McDermott move back to South Carolina? I thought he was staying in Buffalo for his kids. There was an article that The Athletic just came out with that I read, and I think we spoke about this a few days ago, maybe. He did go back down to the Carolinas. What up, the Mad Chatter? What's up, baby? Spidey, Sean moved to Charlotte. Yes. No, that's North Carolina. And he's reflecting. He's taking a deep breath. He's putting together a 12-month plan about learning the nuances of football that he has not had time to think about over the last X amount of years. This is what he says. And he also is meeting with CEOs of large companies and coaches of other sports and big-time brass hats, you know, business people to try to get a different perspective. And he's doubling down on the culture aspect of athletics and sports. So apparently, and he's got a program, like he's got a schedule. He's picking his kids up often. I thought the same thing. I don't know how he picks his kids up and drops them off unless they transferred down to Carolina, which they must have. So that had to be hard for the kids. But, you know, listen, I'm not speaking about that. He's certainly not coaching at the moment, and he's doing his deal. And he's doing what probably you would think Sean McDermott would do with a year off, if I'm being honest. Very regimented routine, for sure. Pats are back. They own the AFC easy again. Not even close. Go Bills, Super Bowl or not, I will always bleed blue. Well, I'm with you there, 100%. AJ and Drake going crazy next year? Don't believe so. Pats would have beat you. What? When? The fucking Broncos took us out. Otherwise, we would have went big bowl. Yeah, and the Broncos, I mean, the Broncos, quite frankly, would have shit on the Patriots. I'm just going to say it. If he was healthy and it wasn't that poor of weather in the first half, the Broncos would have. You know what? Even if it was the weather, the Broncos, if they had their Knicks, they would have beat you guys. That's hilarious. You meant to say Western York and Buffalo, and at the same time you said Western Buffalo. No, are you serious, Nettie? Did I say Western Buffalo? Yeah, I meant the harbor, the lake. Pats would have beat you. Oh, Pats would have beat somebody else. The Chiefs, maybe you're saying. I don't think you guys are talking to each other. I always pull for Buffalo, but they always break hearts. Well, that's true. The Fry, is that a Philadelphia Eagles thing? Yeah, I know. You're right. You're right. The hearts are broken. The hearts break way too often. This is the truth. This is the truth. Okay, what we're gonna do is I wanted to look at one other thing here, and I forget what it was, to be honest with you. Oh, yes. I want to show you again. What I saw here. It might take me a minute, but I want to talk about one last reason why there's no way, in my opinion, the Bills do not go nose tackle. OTAs. It might take me a moment to find this, but we're going to find it and we're going to show you. Bear with me. There's no, again, my mind, my opinion. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I want to show you a little bit better of a photo also that I didn't get my hands on until today. Coming up. Hold on. I was not prepared. Shame on me. But I feel it necessary to talk about. So for all of you that feel strongly one way or the other about a nose tackle, I just want to show you something. Maybe it'll change your mind. Okay, there we go. Maybe it will make you thinking more in one direction versus the next. But here we go. All right. I'm going to blow this up best I can for you. All right. Do you see this man? Right here. This man right above that left dumbbell. You see this? Everybody see this? For those on TikTok, I'm showing a photo of the Buffalo Bills in their OTAs just recently. It's just a couple days ago. Lifting some weights. You got Greg Russo. I don't know who's on the bench there. Somebody's throwing up some dumbbells. 85 pounds, by the way. So it's not chump weight here. Landon Jackson and the infamous Deon Walker. Okay? Deon Walker is over that left dumbbell. Deon Walker last year was listed, and I was a little wrong. Deon Walker last year was listed at 350 pounds, 345 pounds or something like that. He's 6'7". I want to show you a photo of what he looked like last year. And then I want you to tell me what you think. All right. You see this? Look over to the right. Number 96 right there. Do you think, or any one of these photos for that matter, do you think that is the same human being as that guy? There is no chance that he did not lose any less than 30 pounds in this offseason. In my mind, look at that man versus that man. Now, the point we're getting at, point that I'm getting at, is that Deon Walker was the nose tackle for the Buffalo Bills last year, for all intents and purposes. And the man just lost 30 freaking pounds, and he's 6'7", by the way. So this is not a nose tackle body. This is not, simply not, a space-eating body that's going to stop the run. Which, again, tells me that the Buffalo Bills are going nose tackle. Maybe not at 26, but one of their top couple picks. Because they're moving him out, and you don't show up. This is what me and Dan talked about yesterday as well for a little bit, after I talked about it yesterday being live. There is no way that Deion Walker shows up to camp at this weight, and the Bills didn't know about it beforehand. The Bills absolutely Heavy Chevy, what's your other YouTube? Cold Front Buffalo. Take a look at my screen. Get on YouTube. You can get on YouTube there. Cold Front Buffalo. Of course, subscribe if you haven't. But anybody on TikTok, I'm sharing my screen over on YouTube. You can see what I'm looking at and see what I'm telling you and talking about. Cold Front Buffalo. The Bills, laugh out loud. Go Saints. I don't know what's so funny about the Bills. The Saints are real good. You've been good for a while, too. You laughing at the Buffalo Bills, huh? Come on. I thought Beanie said there's a good chance we trade out of the first. Yes. Yeah. I'm not saying at 26, Charles Clark. I'm saying with one of their first couple picks, which could be their first pick, even if it's at 34, even if they trade with the Cardinals, which is what I would love. I'm just saying I think nose tackle is a very good chance to go number one. And for them, their first pick, not necessarily at 26, but their first draft pick. So this guy has lost his kind of weight, not unknowingly to the franchise, to the organization. There's no way. Dan made a good point yesterday. He says people show up overweight without teams knowing about it, and they say, what the fuck? You're overweight. They don't come in better shape without knowing it, in my mind. So this man is not suited to play nose tackle by any stretch anymore. He really wasn't anyways. That wasn't his strong suit, but he's definitely even further away from the nose tackle area nowadays with this body type, which I think he looks great. But again, now it's, hey, get your ass out there at a 4-eye-ish and get after the quarterback and knock some balls down at the line of scrimmage like you do. That's what you do. That's what you do. There's the difference. That's a big boy, man. That is a big dude. That is an in-shape stud right there. But it's not a nose tackle. It's just not a nose tackle. Sorry, it's not. What's your other platform? Oh, yeah, we went over that. Did you see DK Metcalf to Buffalo for Coleman in first round? Did I see it? What do you mean, did I see it? Is it true that Josh Allen is causing a... Oh, come on, MB. Get out of here, bud. Yeah, get out of here again with that shit. I don't want to hear it. You're trying to get me to read that? No, that ain't not happening. How often do you go live with Dan? Well, during the year, Shannon. What's up, Shannon? No, right over the left dumbbell. Shannon. With the cap on his head. That's him last year, or now, like 2-3 days ago. And this is him here last year. Shannon. Look at all those pictures. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. Damn. Schwab. Last year during the season, every Wednesday for a pregame preview, like whoever they were playing that week, we previewed the game plan and the pros and cons and predictions and things of that nature. And we're going to be starting that up soon here again. Charles Clark, I thought Beane said, oh, yeah, on it. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, Heavy Chevy. Nothing. I'm from Niagara Falls. Love the Bills. Awesome. They're my number 2. Gotcha. Cool. CC says my boyfriend lives in Buffalo. Good for you. Good for him, too. Go Sabres, baby. Go Sabres. Skull. Minnesota in the building, it sounds like. I'm a Cowboys fan of the Bills. Time to go to the Super Bowl and win. I love Bills Mafia. Ozzy Bolo. Appreciate you, man. You're gonna watch the Sabres lose tonight? Nope. I'm not. I'm watching the Sabres take it down. Boston Bruins, a bunch of bums. I'm kidding. Good team. Good team. Dave Portnoy can pound sand, though. Can you stay focused and finish a thought? No, it's hard sometimes, Rick Green, because I'm trying to get everybody's comments. Rick, okay? Trying to get everybody's comments. All right? Trying to do the right thing and talk to you. Appreciate you being in here. Trying to make sure I respond to everybody, Rick. Doing my best. Sled Hockey says I'm going to the game. Awesome. Okay, so they're not going to. They're going to have to draft nose tackle because Deion Walker does not fill that role with a body like that. That's my point. That's my prediction. That is my prediction. Wow, I missed a lot of comments here. Now that's what I want to see. Pats versus Chiefs. Yeah. Pats versus anybody reasonable is not good for the Pats. Dan Mitchell drafted Casey. I know, but he said yesterday when we were live, he's already off of the KC thing. He's the wide receiver thing. But they could not trade back in that mock draft, so he had to, is what he said. He gave me the heads up, basically, because we have like 99 of them already. Right. I saw that yesterday. Sam wasn't too happy about it. Yeah. I'll take whatever falls to 91. Oh, Daryl Jackson, please, per se. Oh, man, I think we need to make some moves to get up in front of that. We are, as for a lot of years after Flutie generation, Coach Moderna brought culture and stability to chaotic leadership. I know, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm in McDermott's corner for sure, and he was a rook. Will this first-time laud back coach continue the winning or exceed, or is his culture that crucial to Buffalo to succeed? We'll see. I don't think they're just going to lose 10 games all of a sudden, but we'll see. Got rid of that big flabby belly. Agreed. Can we get Dawkins on the same Walker workout to get faster and more agile this season? Would be nice. Didn't Deion Dawkins said he had to lose some weight? He did. We talked about it. Yes, but he did. He made. I think he actually alluded to it. Yes. Beane Island. Believe in Beane Island, Weston Brewster. After Harrison was walked out, best draft pick last year. Question mark. Deion Walker. I mean, you can make the. Jackson Hawes. Jackson Hawes had a really good year. You can make that, I guess, but no, it's definitely in my mind at least. It's definitely Deion Walker. The back of Deion Dawkins' neck looks like a package of Oscar Mayer wieners. Jesus, is that him on the right? Oh, we spoke about that. Where is Roy? Red Murdoch is a missile, by the way. Never checked him out until last night. Gotcha. Yeah. And then for a late rounder, I'm not against it. Why you keep saying Saints are good? Panthers are the playoff team in that division. Buccaneers are too. I was being sarcastic because someone on TikTok started laughing about the Bills, and he was a Saints fan. Yes, sarcasm. I'm going to be in the wind. I'm going to be in Wind Wings in Buffalo watching Sabres, and if you want to judge me, you can get D's. Okay. No vanity. Only wide receiver acceptable first round are Tate and Casey. Obviously, Tate isn't a real chance. No, he's not a Tate. No vanity. Are you long time here, my friend? I don't remember you or that photo. If you are new, appreciate it, man. Welcome. Walker was a rookie, going to be special. 100% he is. I think he's a potential All-Pro, but he's just asked to do something that he's not that great at, which is being a nose tackle. Kind of like Keon Coleman. I don't think Keon Coleman's going to be an All-Pro, but Keon Coleman's asked to do things that he's not. I like Boston and Tyson as first rounders. I like Tyson for sure. I'm not a Boston guy personally. I don't know why. I can't tell you because I usually like big body receivers, but not me. Not for me. Charles Clark, we need a beast on the online to protect Josh. Josh got beat up in the Denver game. Yeah, but that's something. I mean, Josh, there's a lot on him too, trying to extend plays. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow, and still lost to Denver. Allen isn't clutch. JK99 coming in the building and talking shit about Josh Allen again, It's all good. Season tickets. Oh, excellent. Buffalo in 6. I'm going to the game tonight. Yeah, we knew that. Bruins in 5. So Bruins win 4 straight. Okay. That's crazy. Rick Crean, are you still in here, Rick? I got back to my point, man. I got back to my point, bro. Bills wouldn't even the Super Bowl if they were in the NFC. The NFC was better. What a silly statement that is. I think you mean make it to. You just said Bills wouldn't even the Super Bowl if they were in NFC. The NFC is literally better. So I don't know. Obviously, not talking shit. Just made an observation. McDermott got screwed. Win. The point is, the NFC was a better conference for sure. And they will be again. The Rams, I I don't know what the hell they just did to the Chiefs and why the Chiefs allowed it, but the Rams are going to be a freaking wrecking ball. Now, the Seahawks gave up the Super Bowl MVP in about 42 minutes, so I don't know why they would do that, but hey, maybe they have some kind of plan. Oh, you can stream on TikTok. Well, yes, I can, but it's not nearly as good because TikTok's not giving me this damn thing called a stream key, so I can pop it into this software I use so I can share my screen on TikTok also. I can't do that. They can't see my screen. I'm doing the same thing, but it's not identical. Samtha, I mean, we can't put Boston on a Bills jersey for obvious reasons, right? Yeah, right. Fair point there. Fair point. Are you going to the new stadium opening game? Don't know. I'm going to do, I think, my best to try to get there. If not, we'll be doing it live coverage or live reaction online. But I would love to make it. At some point, we'll make it to the new stadium this year. Just don't know if it's going to be opening day or not. Flap says, I do love cold weather living upstate New York, but this shit is ridiculous. Bring back the 70s. I'm so with you. I'm over it. I'm over it. It's freaking time. It's baseball. It's the damn spring. Let's go. All I know as a huge Allen critic, is he comes in each season as the NFL's best quarterback. Let's see if Bills can support him personnel-wise. Is he not the NFL's best quarterback? I don't know. I still think he is. As much as I love KC in the first, I think Beane is going to make you very happy this Thursday, Dustin. I feel that McDonald is going to be – oh! Everybody stop. Everybody stop what you're doing immediately. Stop what you're doing immediately. Spidey, are you in here still, Spidey? No bones, we were just talking about you. Literally 5 minutes ago. I went on one of my things saying why we need to go defense. Then Deion Walker came up. Then somebody over here on TikTok told me that I couldn't finish a sentence and get a thought out. And I think it was Spidey that said, wait, maybe it was Jonas Burris. Maybe it was, I don't know who it was. It might have been Jonas. Yeah, it might have been Knowles. Somebody said, you got to slow it down here, Cold Front, because No Bone's going to be in here soon, and he's going to get all on your ass for saying that we cannot go to wide receiver with the first pick. And here you are. And here's what you say. And I could not be more excited to hear you say this, No Bones. We were literally talking about you probably before you got in here. And I forget who it was. Actually, I don't think it was you, Spidey. Maybe it was. I think it was Jonas. Somebody did, though. They're still spraying the skis and haven't figured it out yet. What? Not sure what. I don't know. Mike dropped by Bones, Jonas says. Welcome to our world, fella. Yeah. Sadly, he's going to be long gone. Oh, McDonald, he might be. I think he comes in each year number one, but gets injured, tries to do too much, and goes not great, folks. After each playoff loss, I say that was not great. This most recent playoff loss, it was definitely not great by Josh Allen. But other than that one, he's done a lot to get his team to victory in the playoffs, and it just has not been reciprocated by the rest of that team. That's my opinion on the matter. However, I do feel that that Denver game, I mean, you got to put that on him. Sorry. Now, you also got to put it on defense for giving up 30 points again, but some of those, a lot of that, most of it definitely was Josh Allen. Okay, it wasn't Spidey. It must have been Jonas. I didn't say it was my first choice. It's just where I feel Beane is going to go in round one. I still prefer KC, but we can't all be happy. I get you, No Bones, but I'm just excited to hear those words come out of your mouth. Buffalo Bills will be going Katie McDonald. I just love it to come out of your mouth. Or I should say, come out of your keyboard. Cloud seeding is why it's still so cold. Sky spraying the sky. I think I know what you're saying. Something like making up weather, right? Something like a Elon Musk type shit or something. Jesus, that's too much for this tiny brain of mine to think about or try to comprehend. So I'm not even going to try it. But I'm with you. Ethan Davis in the building. I got here late, but I'm here. Hope you're doing good today. Doing very well. We're having a great show today. And if anyone's new, please subscribe and follow along. Talking Bills, had a little bit of Sabres, got yelled at for not being able to finish a thought or a sentence, which, yes, I know I do. Sometimes I'm long-winded, and that's why I do this, So just help me subscribe and follow along so we can get to where we need to be. Because what I really want to do, boys and girls, we all know this, I want to quit my job. I actually got to go back to work Monday. I'm going to quit my job and just do this. But can't do that if you don't make any fucking money. We need Beast on O-line. Okay, Bills are Super Bowl. What does this do? The Bills are going to the Super Bowl. Well, Dolph fan, I'm freaking excited and I'm confident. Are we all aboard the KC Conception hype train? No, I'm not. I mean, he's a great receiver, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Bills uniform, but I'm not at pick number 26. That is for dang sure. That is for dang sure. The Mad Chatter, Robbie, right? Yeah, Robbie. Does everybody remember Robbie? Everybody remember Robbie when he first came in here about a month and a half ago? 2 months? Turned the haters into homies. Robbie was the first one coming in here talking all sorts of crap. And then he's like, wait a minute, I kind of like this guy. And I kind of like this community. And everyone's kind of actually nice. So we don't have to be jerks and mean to each other. We can actually just get along and still disagree. It's quite all right. In the world that we live in today, I think we need a place that we can all disagree and still get along and be friends. I'll rock that jersey proudly, Jonas. Oh, wait. Should we start a GoFundMe for No Bones and that new defensive player's jersey from the first pick? Oh, what an idea. What an idea. I want to give away a free jersey with the subscriber thing. So yeah, that would just be too funny. That would be too funny. I mean, I'll send it to him. I'll go get it if you guys want to do it. You get I'm so in with that. He says I'll rock that jersey proudly. Isn't Kincaid taking limited snaps this season due to injury? What? Do you think they'll do what the other player do that with the other players to save them from playoffs like Chubb's? I think Chubb will not be. Yeah, I think they're looking for some depth to cycle in and rotate these guys for sure in the defensive line. But yes, they did make mention actually of how much we'll be able to get Dalton Kincaid on the field and how many snaps. They did speak about it. You're absolutely correct. It's been a while since I've seen Dexy. Yeah, I've talked to Dexy a little bit in the sleeper and then on X, but maybe, he's probably just busy during the days, which I understand. I really think we move back and get another pick with the hopes of getting Casey in the second. That would, again, it's a possibility. It really is. And I think everything's out the window now. You get this close to the draft, anything can freaking happen. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? And we're going to be surprised more than once come Thursday night and Friday, for sure. Front, Mel Kiper has Bills taking Kendrick Falk, the edge. And like most mocks, has them taking nose tackle and center. Can we get your thoughts? Absolutely. And quite frankly, I'm okay. I'm good. Because I love Mr. Falk. However, Keldrick Falk, I don't think is going to last to 26. I hope Kiper's right in this instance. I just don't think that he is. I think Falk's draft stock has gone up here lately, personally. And I don't think that he lasts that long. Especially since wait. Wait. Kiper's okay. Let's dissect this a little bit. Actually, the Mad Chatter. Kiper's saying they take Falk at edge with what? The 26th pick? And how are they getting back into the second? Or do you mean the second pick like at 91? So Falk 26, nose tackle 91? Or they traded back in his mock to get to both of them. That which would be freaking awesome. But now that I think about this, I don't know how that's possible. It depends on what nose tackle, though. I mean, if they're talking like Corleone at 91, okay, maybe. Well, that might even be a little too early. Who was it? Who was it? Robbie, where's he at? He's right here. He changed his name, right? Mad Chatter is Robbie, isn't it? I believe it is. I got that right, don't I? Folks, chat here. Hey, appreciate the fall, Autism World. Autism, are you a Bills fan? How cool is it that they are putting the sensory rooms in the new stadium? If you're a Bills fan, wondering if you knew that was a thing or not, but that is a thing, just so you do know. I think it's pretty awesome. Thoughts on A.J. Brown to the Pats? Tyler Niffer. Don't care. It seems like it's going to happen, but I don't really think I'm not nervous about it. I'm not a big A.J. Brown guy, if I'm being honest. I think he's a good player, but it's just not for me. Maybe it's kind of weird, but it's just not my cup of tea, I guess, so to speak. So we'll see how that works out for them, though, you know? And what are they going to have to give up for him? I don't know that yet. I don't think that's come out yet either. Brandon Beane is expecting big thing from Javon Solomon. Great point with the switch to his more natural position in this 3-4 scheme. No bones. Fantastic point. And that is one thing that I actually did not bring up about my notes from yesterday's presser. Brandon Beane was asked the question, to No Bones point. Just going to kind of recap this a little bit more. Was asked a question, I'm paraphrasing. Who, Mr. Beane, on the roster do you feel benefits from the new defensive scheme that Jim Leonard is putting in play that was on the team in the last year or two also, not a new guy, not, Chubb or D'Alford, but who that has been in this program, this organization, will benefit from the new defensive scheme the most? And Brandon Beane's example was Javon Solomon. Go figure. Now, I think Solomon in his heyday when he went to a small school, I forget which school, but he went to a small school, and I think he led the nation in sacks. So he shows the ability to be a pressure guy, but that was kind of surprising, to say the least, that was the name that popped into his head that he tells us is going to benefit from the scheme change right away. Just naturally benefits much more than the 4-3 base. You're much more likely to hit on a nose tackle than an edge in later rounds. Agreed. I agree with that. Gabe Davis is great. I love Gabe Davis. He's hurt, but he's great. I like him. I think Robbie goes by oh, that's right. You're right. West Coast Mafia. Yes, he changed his name. He's in Texas, right? Yes. Thank you, Ethan. Great point there, my brother. Solomon went to Troy. Yeah, there we go. How dominant can Hoyt be with completely healthy in a 3-4 scheme? Looked nasty in a small sample size last year. Hoyt is like on the defensive side of the ball. Hoyt is my guy. I freaking love him. And yeah, he put together the best game and a half that you could possibly put together last year. I'm so in with Michael Hoyt. I think he's an absolute stud, and I'm very happy to see him becoming healthy. Quite frankly, I asked my guy, Thigh Doctor, I think I told you guys this yesterday, but he's saying that, it's not my guy. I'm not friends with him. I just trust him, and I ask him a lot of questions on X often if I have medical questions. He says that Hoyt will be ready to go by training camp, like fully. That's his opinion, and he's been right a hell of a lot more often than not when it comes to injuries. And in this system, he can rotate between tackle, maybe a little edge, outside linebacker type. I'm so ready for Michael Hoyt to put together a full season for Buffalo. Holy shit. Born and raised Buffalo, New York, and in Florida, but I'm still a Bills. Okay, awesome. Gotcha. I'm so happy. I want to be back in Buffalo. Well, come up, take a trip, man, and take a look at the new stadium when you can. Back Gabe Davis. Beane has actually mentioned Solomon on many occasions this far, according to Sal the Beef Capaccio. Trying to think of when he has before. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm just trying to think about the context of when he did that prior to yesterday. But hey, maybe they're excited. Maybe they're high on Solomon. Okay, or Solomon. I'm whatever, right? It doesn't matter. I'm good. I'm good with it. If you're high on him and he's going to produce at a high level, like, let's freaking rock, baby. Let's freaking rock. Oh, my word. It's so funny to say that. West Texas Mafia, are you in here? It's so funny you just said this. My watch just tells me, Ethan, that I just got a notification that West Texas Mafia just commented on like a short video or something that I posted earlier. Man, the way the world works. And you're right. It's West Texas Mafia. That is insanely crazy to me. Oh, my God. Insane. Yep. 43 seconds ago, too. So I'm surprised. West Texas, he's got to be in here. He's got to be in here. Got to. Fingers crossed. Yeah, right. No bones. I mean, if a guy like that can come in and produce, shoot, talk about depth. That'll be the best defensive line in football if he's bringing up big numbers. Okay, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. I appreciate all of you. I love every single one of you. Please subscribe and follow if you have not. Growing channel, trying to make it work. Draft 2 days away. Live draft Thursday night. I have practice. This is a problem. I have practice for my son. Older son, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Younger son, Mondays and Wednesdays. We're cutting practice off at 7 o'clock, okay? No matter how nice it is, because there's very important things to do on Thursday evening. It's called the NFL Draft. So, I'm going to try to get everything all set up and ready earlier on during the day, okay? And be ready. So after practice, it's just like, come in here, bang, bang, and let's freaking rock. I'll see you guys tomorrow also. But the point is, I just going to let you know my schedule. And I know, listen, I love all of yous. You know this. There's a lot of people that are going to be live. I know you're not all going to be in here. I get it. You got some big names, some big players that are going to be live. You're going to be want to watching them too. I'll be around, though. Okay, so just hop in once in a while. Say hello, I guess. But a lot of big creator, whatever they're all called, I know they're going to be here. They're going to be online. They're going to be watched. That said, stop in, say hello. I'll probably be going on some rants, and we'll have a good conversation if you have time and you're willing to hang out. So it'll probably be like 7:30. I'm literally gonna be like rip. We're like 10 minutes from the field, so I'm gonna be like ripping through Schuyler County to get home. That's why I'm gonna set it all up. So set it all up prior. So Thursday night, hopefully 7:30 we'll be on here. Plenty of time to go through some things, before it starts. If not, we'll be here slightly after, but it'll be before 8 o'clock. I just move practice to fucking, I don't even know when. We got opening day Saturday of baseball, Little League, so that's going to be a tough day. So Thursday night, definitely. Friday, which is the most energetic days, Thursday night and Friday, of course, we'll be here. I think Friday is a little bit more during the day, is it not? That's a little late there, Red Line. They're picking up the dumpsters outside. Woo! Little late, baby. Supposed to be Tuesday mornings. Anyway, Spice says, thanks again, man. Absolutely. At least he's still watching officially. At least still watching officially turned into a homie. Absolutely. That was the greatest hater to homie turn of all time. Great show. Thank you. Thanks again, as always, Dustin. You got it. No bones. Appreciate you. At least 4 or 5 of us OGs. Yeah, baby. Yeah, we got some OGs for sure. 100%. I'll definitely. Okay, fantastic. Your mom coming into the building saying, fire Brandon Beane. Your mom. It's 2 days away from the draft. Okay, we need positive thoughts. We need positive thinking. We need to corral our people and give them good vibes and good juice because we need it. We need it. Thursday, Friday is going to be extremely important, as will Saturday, for the upcoming season and the future of the Buffalo Bills. So the negativity, we can't use it. We can't use it, your mom, at least not 2 days before the draft. If the draft is over with and we, draft 3 punters and 4 offensive guards, okay, negativity is perfectly fine. But let's get behind our boys, behind Brandon Beane at this moment in time, and give him the juice that he needs to have the greatest draft of all time. I love all each and every single one of you. We'll talk to you later. Go Bills. Peace.